What up, STS here. Now it's time for a simple review, you know what it is. The thing is about the simple reviews too, I mean, I have so much other movies that I still need to see, but these couple days have been a very down period. I just really don't want to watch it. Because my brain of when, oh, you're making these videos, you try to get yourself out there, but I ain't getting nowhere. You know, and that's one thing I just hardly don't do these views much anymore, because I wish I could get comments or anything, you know. I'm not like the greats like Rainbow Rap for Life and OCP Communications and Jimmy Ron's or whatever the fuck his name is, who knows. But I don't know. If I am doing it, this movie right here got me back into it. This movie right here, which you'll see on the screenshot, this movie I always wanted to see. Another movie I always wanted to see. The only time I got to see this film was just the clip and the ending of the on YouTube. The movie's on YouTube, or the end of the... Well, this is a 1980s film. It was produced in Canada. It's a Canadian film. That's what it says. Psychological horror. Haunted house thriller, kind of ghost story way. And it's a very entertaining. It's an hour and 40-something minute movie. This movie was so good. So good. I enjoyed this film. And well, that's Changeling. I mean, it's just... Watching on Bravo, the scariest moments, you know, but the scene that happened with the ball coming down the stairs after he just dropped it like miles away in the ocean, the river, and seeing his reflection. It's Patton in this horror film. Well, George C. Scott, he plays Patton. My grandpa got me to watch that movie. But George C. Scott plays this with Trish Van Devere, which was his wife from 1972 to his death. And he starts out, I mean, what's this go on story? I mean, I thought, you know, and even Martin Scorsese said that this is one of the 11 scariest movies in his top list. And the thing is, though, it's not really that much scary. It's just, well, I mean, the point with the kid, with the flashbacks of seeing the Joseph the ghost when he was a kid getting killed or getting drowned by his own father. It was heartbreaking to watch that too. I mean, it's just I don't care. Here's my phone. I don't care if any of my family have if they're disabled. I'm not gonna do it to him, but I don't know. But but that's one of the scariest films, and basically it starts out with him, and it starts out he's on vacation in New York, upstate New York, and in the winter, and he has his daughter and his wife, and they push the carpet, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna call the phone," you know, and then which he should have brought his wife and his daughter with him, but then you see when he's on the phone, you see a truck coming this way, and then they see the similar car coming up, and then they collide, and then the truck ends up smashing his wife and killing his wife and daughter, which that's kind of fucked up. But and then later on, it goes 4 months later, where he goes up to Seattle to. He's a composer too, and this is based on a true story from Russell Hunter, and George C. Scott's playing John Russell. So to make sure, because it's basically a true story, supposedly. The thing is, I mean, he's one of those strong people. Like there's a therapy session, or is this people when he went up to Seattle, saying, you know, I didn't really think about it, you know, when it happened, it just happened. But then after a couple of hours, I'll be like, it's gone. And then there's a moment where he one night he just gets upset and cries, which I probably would do the same thing as well if my wife and daughter was killed from me or taken away from me or something like that. But he goes to Seattle, and he's a composer. He's a well-renowned, respected composer. And he wants to start his life away. And then he meets up with Claire, who's part of the History Association in Seattle or whatnot. And, you know, he was trying to look for a house. Well, actually, they wanted him or somebody to stay. They actually want him to stay with them or something. Which, I'm trying to remember if that was her or not. And, but the Claire from the association, she just got there a while. She basically said to him, like, he's asking if there's any houses for rent, you know. And so he ends up renting this. He meets up with her, and then this eerie Victorian era mansion to place his bet together. And here's the thing about that: I don't give a damn if I'm rich or not. If it's just me by myself and this big ass, large mansion, there is no way in hell. Now, if I have 10 people, if I have 6, 5, yeah, sure. But one person, the thing is, but when he's in this place, I mean, it's just like, this guy, I mean, the thing is, though, positive attitude, not even worried about being left alone, you know, and then they had a tour around his room, you know, and then they had the music room, you know, and then he's playing the piano, and then someone gets up, the caretaker or whatnot, and then the piano plays. One of the keys, and there's a ghost. I mean, that's the first speculation. And it gets further up there. He discovers that he finally, there's noises like this, doo, 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 which later on the flashback was, oh, okay, that's where that noise is from. It's from the kid banging the fucking bathtub. But he kept hearing these noises. And he goes for all these rooms, and then he realizes there's noises up there, and then there's 3 stories, and then there's a story another stairs where he goes up, and he goes in this door. And it's all cobwebbed, and then like, there's stuff in front, but he realizes there's something in the back there, and he destroys everything. It's another door. And it leads up to an attic. And this attic was basically this boy named Joseph's room. And there was a handicap chair, there was I think the bathtub was up there maybe, or some other stuff was there. But he tries to find out, you know, and he gets in everything, you know. He shares windows and whatnot, and then it manifests itself in seance. And John investigates the identity of the dead child and finds the mystery linked to the powerful local family, the heir of which a wealthy United States Senator, Joseph Carmichael. So basically, I'm trying to think it was. Yeah, the real Joseph Carmichael died. But then what happened, they had a other one. Yeah, that's the thing, it's, you know, this is what it says, he finds out there's coming born in 1900, was born in 1906 by his father, Richard. Joseph was a crippled, sickly child. In the event of his death before his 21st, the family fortune which he inherited from his late maternal grandpa would pass to charity. Desperate to keep from fortune, Joseph's father drowned, but that's very heartful. And then he basically secretly replaced him with a healthy orphan and took the orphan in Europe to guide the seeking treatment or cure. He returned 70 years ago with the imposter now grown and cured of the illness, and continued nothing ever happened. So I feel like that was really fucked up, and I just like that shit. Just watching that the kid, you know, I mean, that's the only thing rated R about this film. I mean, it's just in the language, but fuck, who cares about the language or whatnot? But and you find out the senator who's the orphan, basically. He looks like an evil man. The Carmichaels and I don't know. It's just but now the ghost John haunts the house, making great efforts to persuade John to investigate the murder and gives him some form of justice. John investigation leads him to a property that was once owned by the Carmichael family, which because there was a well. He was buried in a well. That's where his dad buried him. And he goes to his house, and then he had a sense where it was, you know. And the woman's like, you know, I wouldn't want to let you in, but my daughter in her room said there was this little boy trying to come out of the ground, and like he was drowning or whatnot. So they go in the room, they tear it up, finally get tear it up, and they dead bones, and there's this metal, the Joseph's metal, he said, the ghost, and his bones, you know. So that happens, and I thought, well, that's pretty cool, you know. And he attempts to hand the medal over to the police. John attempts to speak about the part playing, but then it's revealed that the senator has an identical medal. The senator then sends a policeman John to his home. John refuses to give him that, and then he mysteriously crashes when the window breaks. I'm like, what the hell's that? And he supposedly crashes and killing him. And then after hearing Dwight's death, you know, the senator finally agrees to listen to John's story, meets with him. John refuses to try to start his fire murders, and then just replaces him with a changeling, which is the senator. The senator refuses to believe the story, and he berates John for accusing his fire woman he claims was a living man of murder. John then leaves the will, just files, and the only copy of the sentence recorded apologizes. The senator informs John that there will be consequences if he's told anyone of his story. Meanwhile, John returns to Claire, goes to the house alone, and attempt to find John, is chased by Joseph, which I don't understand. I didn't understand this at all. She's tempted, but she's chased by Joseph's wheelchair, which the thing is, though, I mean, this Joseph is basically pissed off and stuff, but the thing is, though, but then again, he was sickly, you know, like, you know, everybody just gonna judge me or whatnot, but he went after her, and it's like, well, what, damn, the thing, like, he kept, sometimes he went after him, and that's where all hell breaks loose. I mean, he comes in there, and this thing just comes out, and then she falls over, and all of a sudden, here comes John, he's back, you know, and he rises and exhorts her outside, and he goes back, tries to stop the ghost of Joseph. Strong winds, it calls, and then the story lights on fire. Joseph then lights the house on fire. He just destroys everything. And then it says, meanwhile, back in the sister's home, he is observing the tube and throws Joseph away while placing his own on the porch of his fire. Suddenly, the picture in the desk starts shaking. And then an illusion of the senator is transferred to the house, being climbed the stairs, which then crumble. And then he went, near getting crushed. Yep. And then, yeah, because I thought, like, how's he going to get there that fast? But it was an illusion. He was looking. He was, like, his mind for that shit. And he sees himself when Joseph, and then he gets a heart attack and he dies. And then the next morning, you know, the mansion's burned to hell. And then the next morning, the mansion's burned, but there's the wheelchair, and then the music box opens, playing live by Plasma Center. The justice he wanted has been finally served. So there's your movie there. I mean, one hell of a psychological horror film, horror thriller. I recommend this movie. This is definitely watchable. It's a very slow-paced, but fucking good. It's very interesting. It's intriguing. It's not scary. I mean, it's just really fucked up to watch about the whole, Well, actually, I did have my face covered sometimes, but the thing is, though, it wasn't much scary. But George C. Scott's demeanor, the acting on here is so good. Helps this boy out. This ghost and that. Oh yeah, and also one thing, like I said, but the ball, like the scene in Bravo. Well, because he finally accepts. I think what it said. He accepts the death of his daughter, and she always had this ball. Well, he ends up going to the river because this is before he goes after and tries to get everything in the story. Well, he throws the ball in this river, and then he comes back and then it starts going back downstairs, and then that's when he's spooked out of his mind. But the thing is, though, a great story. Great, awesome fucking story. Great movie. I'm so glad that I got to finally watch this in the full piece. And it's a superior haunted house thriller, just like Variety said on here. But I think you guys should check this out. 1980 horror film, psychological film, or whatnot. The Changeling. Go get it. And I'm STS, and that is another simple review. And we'll see you next time. Simple review. Peace.